Hello everyone! This is Sorry and Target welcoming you to one of the most highly requested videos I have ever made. You know, for someone who is trying really hard not to be the final authority on all things carnivores, I get asked nearly every day, Sorian, how do I download Carnivores mods? How do I install new updates of mods? Does Carnivores work on modern PCs with Windows 10? How do I install DLC dinosaurs? Or where can I download the original games? Well, my inquisitive friends, I am here to bring you the answers to all of your Carnivores mod related questions in a one-stop shop go-to video. We're going to break down how to download Carnivores mods, how to install them, optimize them, how to handle DLC and mod updates, as well as provide download links for whatever you may need to make your Carnivores experience the best it can be. It's an extremely easy process. I'm going to walk you through it step by step, and if you're looking for a specific part of this tutorial, there are timestamps for each section in the description below. So without further ado, let's begin. So first things first, you're going to have to download the Carnivores mods from a host site. And just to reiterate, you can only download and play Carnivores mods on PC. Not mobile devices like your phone or tablet, that's not going to work. Most of the popular mods are available on ModDB, which is a very safe and reliable website to download them from. So you can go there and find download links for Carnivores Triassic, Mandibles, Carnivores Plus, Fallen Kings, A New World, Jurassic Park Hunter Legends, and many, many more. Most of the older mods, like Carnivores Modern Days, do require the original games they were built on to play, so in that instance you would need Carnivores Ice Age to play Modern Days. But pretty much all of the newer, more modern mods run on their own custom engine variants, so you do not need the original games to play them. Just download the mods and have fun! Now, once you download a mod, it's going to come in a compressed file, like a zip file. So you're going to need some kind of extraction software to pull the mod out once you've downloaded it. You can use WinZip if the mod comes in a zip file. That is a very popular choice. Alternatively, I also like to use a program called the Unarchiver. It's a free extraction software that extracts both zip files and RAR files, and has worked perfectly for me every time I've downloaded and extracted a new mod. And I'm running everything on Windows 8, so in theory this should work on most modern PCs, if not all of them. Now, I don't know how organized you guys are, I'm pretty darn OCD myself, so I have an entire folder comprised of every single Carnivores mod I have downloaded to keep them all organized. And within the main folder, I have subfolders for all of the individual betas or DLC packs that come out, in case I need to go back and look something up or get footage from an older release or something. So once you've downloaded, extracted, and placed the Carnivores mod where you want it, hop into the mod's main folder. Find the exe icon, right-click it, and send it to the desktop. This will create an automatic shortcut so you can have quick and easy access to the mod. And if you have a certain mod in particular that you just love and play all the time, you can pin it to the taskbar as well if there's no room on your desktop. Another step I'd recommend taking at this stage is to check in the hunt.dat folder within the mod's main folder and make sure you see a text file called the res text. This main mod folder handles all of the technical aspects of the game, like graphics and save files. But the hunt.dat folder handles the in-game stuff, like the dinosaurs, the maps, weapons, and sound effects. And all of those are controlled by the res file. It's basically the brain of the Carnivores games, and without it, you cannot play the game. And I've had some people say that when they download and try to boot up a game or mod, it says that the res file could not be found. I'm not sure what that's all about. It may be an extraction issue. But if it happens to you, let me know which mod you were trying to play and I'll get you an res file for it. So once we have everything in place, there's one more step we need to take before we are ready to launch the game. And that is confront the dreaded Heap allocation error. Darn allosaurs, always heaping their errors on you.
Wait, what?
To get around this error, simply right-click on the desktop icon, Go to Properties, find the Compatibility tab, and set the compatibility to Windows 98. Apply the changes and you will now be ready to play your Carnivores mod. So once you've launched the game, go ahead and sign in, agree to Dino Hunt Corp's suspiciously clean waiver, and you'll be at the main menu. Now before you take the very tempting jump into the hunt menu to look at the dinosaurs and the maps and all that stuff, I'd recommend going to the options menu first to optimize your game and get everything set up for your first hunt. I'll quickly run through my preferred optimization list. I'd recommend setting the density and view range at maximum. Density is the amount of dinosaurs that spawn in on the map, and view range is, of course, how far on the map you can see. I like lots of dinosaurs and being able to see as far as possible. But if you are having frame rate issues or have plants popping in and out, you can adjust the view range back for a better experience. Aggressivity is how much health the dinosaurs have, and sensitivity is how good their senses are. So if you like a hardcore challenge with some tough dinosaurs that'll see you coming a mile away, you can ramp those up, but I prefer to keep them at neutral. I typically set my measurements to US because I'm behind the rest of the world, and that'll take care of the game section. For the drivers, I'd recommend setting audio to Direct Sound 3D and video to either D3D or 3DFX, and OpenGL works fine too. Software mode looks like complete and utter garbage. D3D mode looks great, but anything that's solid black will become transparent, and 3DFX and OpenGL also look great, but they sometimes have some texture warping issues. So just experiment with these to see which one works best for you. Also, do keep in mind that some mods require certain video drivers for the preferred experience. So check the mod's README text before starting. If a mod has a README text, you can find it in the main mod folder. And any mod that features a bonus animal needs to run in either D3D or 3DFX mode. Otherwise, the bonus animal will just spawn in as an immobile statue, so keep that in mind as well. I set my resolution to 1024 by 768, turn 3D shadows and fog on if they're not set to that already, and I usually just keep the textures and brightness at the default setting, but you can experiment and see if adjusting these look better on your setup. In the controls section, you can completely rebind the keyboard to your liking. For me personally, all I add is the step left and step right control. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and address this because I know I'm gonna get comments on it because I do every single time I show my controls. Saurian, why don't you use WASD for your walk controls? Well, as a lot of you guys know, I am not much of a gamer. I like Carnivores for the world building and the dinosaurs. But Carnivores 2 was the first game I ever got, and the only one that I had for a while, so I actually learned and grew up on the default Carnivores 2 controls. Odd as it is, it's where my hand naturally sits on the keyboard now, and I don't feel like relearning the proper way, so that's why my controls look pretty much like the default controls. So at this point, you are ready to jump in and play your mod. But what about when a new beta release of a mod comes out? Say you've successfully installed the beta 3 release of a new Carnivores mod, but then the beta 4 comes out. What do? You know how to download and install the new beta, but all your work in the previous beta is now for naught, and you have to start over. Well, for me personally, I enjoy playing through the new beta releases again, but if you do want to pick up where you left off, simply set up the new beta release just like we've been doing so far in this video, then go back to the old beta and look in the mod's main folder. You should see a file labeled Trophy00. This is your save file. It keeps track of your score, your points, and your trophies. So if you just want to resume your progress in the next beta, just copy this file into the new beta's main folder, and you'll be able to pick up with your current score and trophies. So now we've got the mods downloaded, installed, optimized, and we are ready for any new releases that come our way. But what about the DLC packs? pretty much every mod coming out nowadays has at least a few alternate DLC dinosaurs or maps or weapons to spice up their hunting roster and keep players coming back. But because of the limitations of the Carnivores engine, you can only include a certain amount of maps, animals, and weapons in the mod, and most mods max out those categories by default. So how do you add DLC dinosaurs to your mods? Well, there are 3 primary methods you can go about doing this, and I'm going to walk you through all 3 right here. The first method is arguably the simplest way to implement DLC, and if I had to guess, it's probably the way most people do it, and that is simply dumping everything into its respective folder and swapping out each and every single item whenever you want to use it. For the maps, you'll need to take the map and RSC files and put them in the areas folder. For dinosaurs, you'll need to take their car files and put them in the main hunt dat folder. And for weapons, you'll need to take their car files and put them in the weapons folder. Now, for the maps, the game reads each area by name, so whatever file is labeled Area 1 is the first map, Area 2 is the second map, and so on. So you'll want to rename the original map files, or else they'll be replaced by the DLC files when you put them in the areas folder. For the dinosaurs and weapons, you don't have to worry about the original files getting replaced because the RES text reads them separately. To actually incorporate the DLC dinosaurs and weapons, open the RES file, scroll to the weapon or dinosaur you want to replace, rename the car file, then the name itself, and add any RES adjustments that may come with the DLC item. Now, some DLC packs come with a new RES file already filled out with the DLC content for you. You can find that in the README text. Save the changes and you should be good to go. Now, on top of just the base files, most complete DLC packs come with other custom elements like menu pictures and text, call icons, bullet icons, and dinosaur calls. If the DLC pack includes these elements, here's how you add them in. To add in menu elements like menu pictures and text, go into the menu folder. Menu pictures and call icons go in the pics folder, and menu text goes in the text folder. Just copy and paste them in. To add in dinosaur calls, go to the sound effects folder and paste them in the calls folder. Now, these folders function the same way as the areas folder, like adding in DLC maps. It reads each item by its name, like Call 1, Dino 1, etc. So be sure to rename the original files, or the DLC files will replace them when you paste them into those folders. Now, this is the base method for adding in DLC, and honestly, by itself, I despise this method because of how unorganized, messy, chaotic, frustrating, and time-consuming it is. Because every time you want to go back and hunt an animal or play a map from the base release that's not DLC, you have to go in and reverse everything we just did. Every single time. Let's say in Carnivores Triassic you want to hunt a Gorgonops. So you do everything we just went through, replace the calls, menu info, car files, edited the RES text, all of that to add in Gorgonops. Then, a few days later, you want to hunt a Postosuchus again. So you've got to go back through and change all of those files again. It is maddening. And I know some people are content with just changing the car file in the RES text and calling it a day, because technically that's all you have to do in order to hunt the animal. But for an OCD person like me, I just cannot change only the car file. I have to go back and change everything. And when certain mods like Jurassic Park Hunter Legends have over 70 DLC dinosaurs, complete with detailed files and information for every single one. Look, I'm not a masochist, so if you're like me, here are a couple of other, less mind-numbing ways to include DLC items, without causing you to want to step out in front of oncoming traffic. So just like subfolders read whatever is in them to know what to use in the game, the main folder that stores all of the Carnivores game information is the HuntDat folder. Whatever is in the folder labeled HuntDat is what the game knows to use. So what I'd recommend for the second DLC option is to make a copy of the HuntDat folder and rename it. Something like Hunt DLC as an example. Then go into your Hunt DLC folder and replace everything you want to with the DLC items. Dinosaurs, maps, weapons, calls, menu pictures, everything. Then, whenever you want to hunt the DLC animals, just rename the base HuntDat folder to something like Hunt 2, for example, and rename the Hunt DLC with all your DLC content to HuntDat. And then the game will now read your DLC folder as the main one. This way you can just swap back and forth between already organized HuntDat folders, instead of having to go in and edit each little detail over and over again. And you can do this with as many HuntDat folders as you want, in whatever customization ways you want. Now to me, this is a much better way of incorporating DLC for your Carnivores mods. And I figure this will be the method most people use because it's simple and efficient. But if you really want to go the extra mile and be as efficient as possible, there is one more method you can use, and it's my personal favorite. Like I mentioned earlier, I keep multiple folders and subfolders for each Carnivores mod and subsequent beta releases that come out, so I can have a record of everything in case I need it. I'm a bit of an archivist. I'd probably be an Onumatoran. And like the second DLC method, this one involves creating multiple custom HuntDat files. But instead of swapping them out in the same base game file, this method puts each custom DLC HuntDat folder in its own game. So instead of keeping multiple HuntDat folders in the same Carnivores mod file, I just make an entirely new mod file for them. For example, let's say I wanted to play Jurassic Park Hunter Legends Super Sauropods DLC pack for a while, but then I want to play the Crested Killers DLC pack. Well, instead of going into my one Jurassic Park Hunter Legends main mod file and just swapping out the HuntDat folders every time, from the desktop, I can just pop on over from one DLC pack to the other, because I have a separate mod file for each DLC pack. No renaming, no editing, every single step has already been done. I just get to reap the rewards. Now, this method does tend to clutter the desktop space a bit, as you can see, but since Carnivores is pretty much the only PC game I play, it's not really an issue for me. However, you don't even have to use the desktop icons for this one to work. Just create the individual folders, and then just launch the game from within the folder. Simple. Now, like I've said before, most of the newer mods use their own custom engine variants to run, so you do not need the original games to play them. However, I still get asked quite frequently where to download the original Carnivores games. And as a completionist who owns the physical copies of the originals, I can 100% understand that need to at least experience the base games in their original, unaltered formats. And I will, of course, provide download links to them in the description. But, if I may be so bold, instead of playing the original Carnivores games, Carnivores 1, 2, and Ice Age, I'd recommend downloading and playing their mod equivalents, Carnivores Plus, Carnivores 2 Plus, and Carnivores Far North, at least until the Ice Age Redux is available. The original games are wonderful, but they are painfully bare bones and simple to a fault. These three mods take their essence, their concepts, their ideas, and expand upon them in such loyal and fulfilling ways. They take the bad parts of the originals and make them great, and they take the good parts of the originals and make them excellent. They come with more high-quality maps, more characterized alien animals, and more fun and unique weapons, with most of them surpassing the originals in quality. Honestly, at this point, the Carnivores mods are better than the original games. Again, I 100% understand that desire to experience the unaltered originals as Action Forums left them. But if you're simply looking for a proper, fun, and fulfilling Carnivores experience, I'd highly recommend downloading those respective mods instead. But either way, I'll leave links for all of them down in the description below. Alright, so there you go guys. I hope you found this in-depth walkthrough on downloading Carnivores mods and DLC helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, it would mean a lot. And if you know anyone who needs help with this topic, do please send them this way. I'm sure this will be more helpful than trying to explain everything in a 3-paragraph long comment. So let me know down in the comments section, how many Carnivores mods do you have downloaded? I'm just saying I have them all and that's a high number to beat, but I'm curious, how many do you guys play and which ones are your favorites to play? I always love to hear from you guys. And thanks as always for watching guys, I genuinely appreciate your continued viewership and encouragement and just for making this fun. Don't forget you can follow me on Twitter or Instagram if you want to be notified as soon as new Carnivores content is available. Jurassic Park Hunter Legends has released like 3 brand new DLC dinosaurs over the past few weeks, and I've been on top of those on social media, so be sure to follow me there if you want to be notified when new Carnivores content becomes available. You can check out my Patreon if you want to help support the channel, it would be greatly appreciated. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you can be notified whenever I upload. Thanks again guys, you are all truly the best. I love you all and I will see you guys next time. Hello everyone, thank you so much for watching. I genuinely appreciate it and I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you do enjoy the Carnivores games and Carnivores content on YouTube and want to help support this channel, you can do so at patreon.com/sorryandtarget. There's a link down below in the description of this video. As many of you guys know, this YouTube channel is not my job and it takes a lot of my time to work on videos. But I love doing it for you guys, and every little bit donated helps me dedicate more time to making you guys the best Carnivores content on YouTube. Thank you all for everything you do. I love you all, you are all the best. And I will see you guys next time.